Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to speak a little bit about the United Nations speeches that took place last week. And we had all the countries in the world, 190 something countries, speaking in New York City at the United Nations annual conference. And I am very impressed with what I'm seeing coming out of Africa. Almost every single African leader spoke boldly and was straight to the point. They're not making any joke anytime. They're not making jokes nowadays. They're speaking their mind. They're tough, and they're letting the West know that Africa will no longer tolerate the nonsense that is happening, that has been happening for a number of years. And there are 54 African countries, and I think 15 CARICOM countries. But what I find very disturbing is that Africa and the Caribbean always seem like they're in their own group. They're not working together. When African leaders go to the UN, you see them taking pictures with each other, the different African leaders. And when Caribbean leaders go to the UN, they find fellow Caribbean leaders to take pictures with and talk to. Come on. If African leaders and Caribbean leaders both are in New York City together, why not sit down together and discuss on how we can work together and move the Caribbean and Africa forward, united as one? And from coming home in Kitts-Nevis, our Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Dew, gave a speech, and I think his speech was his best ever speech given at a public forum such as the UN. Number one, he spoke about Haiti and the need to give more support to Haiti. However, he left out Kenya. Kenya, the Republic of Kenya in East Africa, will be sending 1,000 police officers all the way from Africa to help out with the crisis in Haiti. He could have mentioned that link that Africa is coming to Haiti and to help out. And Prime Minister Drew also mentioned the sanctions or embargo placed on Haiti, not Haiti, on Cuba, the 60-year-old embargo placed on Cuba. But what he didn't mention was that Zimbabwe in Africa, in the southern African region, is suffering from 20-something years of sanctions. The European Union and America, Canada, would have placed sanctions on Zimbabwe, causing them not to be able to export their natural goods and to profit from them, and that would have had significant effects on the economy there. And I think our Prime Minister should have mentioned Zimbabwe, because St. Kitts and Nevis citizens can travel to Zimbabwe visa free. We can travel visa free to Zimbabwe. So obviously we are friends, and the Zimbabwean government recognize us here in St. Kitts-Nevis. We can't travel to the United States visa free. We need a visa to go there. But the Prime Minister Joe thanked America for its security, for providing some kind of security to us here. I don't know what that is about. I didn't like that part because I don't know what security is America providing to us. There are a number of guns here in the Federation of St. Kitts-Nevis coming from America. So they are causing more harm than good. They need to control their guns up there, and then we won't have guns down here in the Caribbean because we don't manufacture guns. So we should have let the United States know that they should control their guns, and then to keep us safe. That is the way to keep us safe. Control your guns in the US, and that will keep us safe. So another thing, the Prime Minister mentioned about the transatlantic slave trade. Briefly mention it, and I think he should have gone more deeper into the reparations part and actually let the people of the world and Africa know what took place down here in the Caribbean, the atrocities that was caused by the Europe, France, England, Portugal, Spain, the atrocities they cause on these Caribbean islands, and we are suffering here right now because of it. Poor healthcare, poor infrastructure. They made trillions of dollars from the transatlantic slave trade, free labor from our ancestors. Hundreds of years, we enriched them. We built Europe. We helped to build Europe. And he need to let them know that we are not happy. We need reparations now. And I find it interesting that Caribbean leaders are very tame. They try to be politically correct with their speeches. It's time to done away with that. It's time to talk to these people like you're on a platform, like how you do in your political campaigns. Talk with good English so they could understand you, but don't get too much into the politically correct speeches. We would have had enough of that. It's time to get down to business here in the Caribbean and let these people know we need reparations and we need it now. And what I find very heartwarming is that the president of Ghana, Nana Abo, spoke in length about reparations. We know that enslaved Africans were shipped from Ghana to the Caribbean. So the president of Ghana recognizes that, and he would have apologized some time ago for some tribes there sold some Africans into slavery, and the president of Ghana would have apologized for that, and we accept his apology. I am not hearing anything from any Caribbean leader that they accept it. They need to accept the apology and see how we can work together with Ghana and other African countries to get reparations, because Africa is waking up. We would have had a number of coup d'etats over there in Africa, overthrowing the puppet French government that was controlling all the resources over there in West Africa. We would have had Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea-Bissau, or I think Guinea, and what else? Chad also. Coup d'etats, Gabon recently, overthrowing the French puppet governments that would have been enriching France and keeping their people in poverty. So congratulations, Africa, you're doing a good job. I am appreciative of your waking up and actually speaking truth to power. Now our Prime Minister Drew and Mia Motley, two Caribbean leaders, gave great speeches, but there's room for improvements, as I said before. And Mia Motley would have been surging. She would have been going viral on African media channels because of her outstanding speeches. She is not playing around, and I'm very impressed with Mia Amar Motley, and I would like to say to her, keep up the good work and keep joining with Africa. We would have seen the president of Rwanda, the president of Kenya, and the president of Ghana visiting. They visited Barbados, and the prime minister of Barbados, Mia Amor Motley, actually visited Ghana, Rwanda, and I think Kenya. She visited those countries in Africa. So she's trying to make, she's trying to bridge the gap. Definitely, I would have seen that. And but coming home here at St. Kitts-Nevis, we're far. We don't even have an African ambassador in the country. We have ambassadors from Taiwan, from India, from all sorts of European countries, but none from Africa, our own people. That is not good enough. I want to see African ambassadors here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I hope people from the government is watching this video, because I have a lot of international experience, you know. I watch a lot of international news, especially coming from Africa. And I know there's a change happening, and then I compare it to what is happening in the Caribbean, and it's like we're almost in another world. Caribbean leaders are still talking like we're colonized still. Come on, we need to get with the times. Join with Africa. 54 African countries in the UN. We have about 15 CARICOM countries in the UN. So that's a massive number if you join both the African Union and CARICOM together, and we speak with one voice, supporting one another at the highest stage in the world. And I'm very impressed with what's coming out of South Africa as well. President Ramaphosa is actually spoke at the UN, gave a wonderful speech on that African resources are no longer, Africa is no longer will let their resources leave the country without putting on the proper pricing, like raw materials. They no longer be exporting stones and raw materials. They're gonna be exporting finished products. For example, Africa, these European countries would come to Africa and they would take out a lot of coffee beans, stones and stuff like that, and they would make coffee, package it, and then ship it back to Africa. And also with the coal and different minerals, they would take the rocks and soil and then refine it, whatever gold so they make over there in Europe at their factories, and then sell it back to Africa. So they don't have, Europe don't have any resources. They actually cocoa as well. They get their cocoa beans and so from Africa and then sell us back chocolate. Sell back Africa chocolate. So Africa is enriching Europe by giving them those raw materials. So Ramaphosa is saying, no more. We're gonna manufacture the products in Africa, and then Europe is gonna buy from Africa, and then that will boost the whole economies in Africa. So I would like to see the Caribbean waking up and working with the motherland. Let us stop trying to beg friends with Europe and America. They're not coming to save us. Europe and America is not coming to save us anytime soon. So let us work with our brothers and sisters in Africa in order to build a strong black nation worldwide. 15 CARICOM countries and 54 African countries working together as one. Imagine that. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, Bjorn Love Africa, and like this video and share it with all of your friends and family, and let them know that this channel is about strengthening the African people in the diaspora and also on the continent of Africa. We need each other. Let us work together as one and build a stronger nation. We need direct flights from Africa to the Caribbean, from the Caribbean to Africa. We need African ambassadors in each Caribbean island. We need Caribbean ambassadors in Africa. Let us cut out the middleman and let us work together as one. Much love. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.